Hello Pisces, and welcome to your reading for the weeks of September 17 through 30, 2024. This is a reading if you are Pisces Sun, Pisces Moon, Pisces Rising, or have another significant Pisces placement in your chart. If you're new to this channel, welcome. It's good to have you. And if you're returning, welcome back. What I do in these readings is a 12-card astrological spread with a 13th card in the middle. And as you can see, there's a lot of cards here. So I use Murray Hope's Way of Cartouche as my main deck. And I clarify with a tarot deck. And this week we are using the Crowley Thoth deck. And I'm going to be using, as our extra oracle pull for this week, we're going to use the Black Moon astrology cards. If you are interested in the work that I do tarot readings, I do astrology, human design, I do some big mega readings, I do spiritual coaching, channeling, Reiki and Rahani healing. All of my services are available on my website, transitionlifecoaching.net. And so if you are interested in any of my work, the link is down in the description box below, as well as links to my social media. I do a daily live stream called Morning Coffee with Breege, in which I do a tarot reading, and I do upload those. Sometimes I upload a chunk of them at a time, but I do end up uploading the daily live streams to this channel as well as my Azrael channelings. So again, you can find more information about that on my website. Okay, let's just get right into your reading. Okay, now there is actually, Pisces, there is an eclipse that's coming up actually on the very first day of this reading, which is the 17th of September, and it is actually in Pisces. So you may find yourself, this may have a big effect on you. In fact, it's interesting because you have Nepenthes, which is the Pisces card, right in the center of your reading here. And this, generally Nepenthes shows up when we are waiting for something to happen. Something is nebulous, something's not clear. Our intuition may be very strong, it may be telling us certain things, but we may be finally getting clarification or seeing validation after the eclipse period. After the eclipses bring a certain amount of clarity and reveal things to us. You do have this with the Ten of Wands here. So the Ten of Wands is indicating, being able to drop a burden. I mean, this is the card of oppression. So overall, I feel like maybe you have been, as they say, burning the candle at both ends. There's been a lot going on. And right now, you may be feeling like, I don't know when this is going to end or where I'm going. But this is definitely assuring you that you are at the end of a cycle here and that this change is coming, even if we're not quite seeing it yet. This is definitely you being able to decide what stays and what goes. Now, in your own Pisces house, the 12th house, this is interesting because we have Anubis. So Anubis, you have it with the Tower. So yeah, big revelations coming in here with the Tower. And these revelations might throw you into some kind of self-doubt. Maybe there's a situation that you were sure about and you're going to get new information and go, wait, what? What's that about? But Anubis does assure you that you are not deceiving yourself, okay? When Anubis shows up in this particular house, this is our guide through that space, and this is a guide that definitely keeps us away from any kind of psychic or intuitive self-deception. But yeah, it seems like you're either waiting for the other shoe to drop here, or you're expecting something to fall apart, or just some conception of something that you have, you may get a stark wake-up call on. So let's see more about that as we go through the reading. Yeah, your first house, I mean, this is Nine of Pentacles. I mean, this is you being an independent person, having it together. Certainly conveying the image that you are self-sufficient, that you have everything that you need, and that you are secure and well off. And we also have it with Isis here. So there's a little bit of mystery when this card comes in. So maybe you're kind of conveying this thing of like, yeah, I'm on my own. I can take care of myself. But Isis also has a strong nurturing element to it. So I do feel almost like these two together may suggest that you have been in the mode of wanting to share with others right now. And maybe you're feeling like, I want to help and I want to share and I want to give these things to people. You know what I mean? There's a sense of, Isis has a strong mother vibe. So to see it in the first house means that people may be looking to you for this kind of support. And this suggests you being in a position to share with others. Okay. Now it's interesting because, yeah, we're also seeing in the financial area, you've got the Six of Pentacles. So again, this could be somebody helping you out financially or you helping out somebody else. given what I'm seeing in the first house, I don't know. I'm inclined to think that maybe you've been in a position where you have been trying to help other people. But we do have Sphinx here. So Sphinx indicates, so again, something where you have to wait and see when it comes to money. I don't know if this is a case of, with the Six of Pentacles, that you maybe there's monies that you're waiting on. Maybe this is monies that somebody has promised you, or that they're going to give to you, or maybe they promised to return to you. But there's definitely some kind of situation with money where you are playing a waiting game here, and it seems to be around giving or receiving. This is more of a, this is not so much like, oh, I worked and I earned this paycheck and I'm waiting for it. This is more energy of somebody's offering me a gift, or they're helping me, or I'm helping them. So take it as it resonates. What I'm seeing in the first house makes me think this might be more money, something you're waiting on from somebody else. Or there's some element here of something where there's a lack of, this is often a card of either secrecy or just passivity, having to wait and see how something is going to go. Now, the other surprise area we have here is in the house of home and family. You have Urias here. Okay, and Urias is a card that says that something is not what it appears to be. You have a lot of this energy in your chart right now. And you have it with the Eight of Swords. So I feel like there's something going on with regard to family where you are mentally stuck, or somebody's mentally stuck. Okay, Eight of Swords energy says, is when we're almost like facing the corner and not seeing that the way out is behind us. We're overthinking or overanalyzing something. So I think with regard to a situation connected to home or family, man, this is strong Cancer energy. That you need to drop the mind here. The mind is interfering. This is you trying to overthink something, and the reality of a situation may not be what you think it is. I think you might actually be in for some surprises. So it does seem like there's going to be some revelations as far as family goes, or a family situation. In terms of your communications, okay, we have the Lust card, which is just covering up because we have a semi-nude person on here. This is the card of strength, and you have it with Osiris, and this is showing up in your house of communication. So again, Pisces, there's this strong element here of being a tower of strength. This card is about passion, so this is almost like communications about something that you really feel very strongly about, or you're very passionate about. Maybe something where you feel like you can rely on your judgment, where you're an authority. Osiris implies leadership here, and these are both fiery energies. One is Leo and one is Sagittarius. So this is showing up in your house of communications. So I think again, there's this sense of having the strength to deal with whatever comes, having this sense of centeredness here that we see with Osiris that says, we have what it takes to remain stable, remain secure, and knowing what we're doing in a particular situation. So take that as it resonates here. But in the Crowley deck, this card, in addition to being a card of courage and strength, it may often be a card of really leaning into what you're passionate about. So yeah, take that as it resonates here. But it's interesting. There's definitely this strong, there's a lot of earth and fire energy here, and you're a water sign, but there's a lot of earth and fire energy. There's the sort of determination to help others. There's this, I feel like there's this sense of you being a rock for somebody, but there's something going on in the home or family sector that, I don't know, maybe you're trying to over control a situation when this comes up. Again, probably with all of the best intentions, but there may be a situation where you feel like you need to be the person to step in and fix or help something. And this is saying, it may not be what it appears. Urias usually indicates it's not as bad as it appears, okay? Or it may be something very different from what you think. Okay, so we have, there's again more of a family vibe here in the 5th house. For some people, I don't know if this means that there's going to be the birth of a child, or, this is a house of, this is the Leo house. Creativity, love affairs, and children primarily. So I don't know if this means there's a new child on the way for somebody. It could be, or somebody in the family. So maybe there's an element of that, or maybe you're a new parent at this point, some of you. But this is definitely family harmony, and Horus has a lot to do with the same thing. This has to do both with creativity and the family. So I don't know. This to me almost feels like a new addition to the family, something that brings the community together. I don't know if that's the unexpected thing over here, but there's definitely, if you're talking about a creative venture, then this is something for which you have a tremendous amount of support. If you're looking for love, this could be somebody introduced to you by somebody in the family, or this could just be maybe somebody with strong family attachments. But there's a tremendous sense of harmony here, of being part of a group, and typically the tens have a lot to do with family vibes and family groups. So that's interesting that it's showing up in the house of recognition. So yeah, for some people, I feel like this is going to be like a new addition to the family. It doesn't have to be you. It could be somebody else in your family. So I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of energy here around wanting to be supportive, wanting to be helpful. And yeah, this just strikes me as something that's going on within the family dynamic. But I think it is kind of telling you not to get too up in your head about this, because some things may go differently from what you expect. I keep going back to that. Okay, sixth house. Yeah, we've got more. Four of Wands also has a very strong family vibe to it. A lot of family stuff in your house here, Pisces. This is the card of completion, but there's definitely this sense, again, of harmony, of working together, of accomplishment, but also of moving on to the next stage. And when we have the water card with this, yeah, this is definitely a feeling of getting ready to move on to the next phase. Now, the Virgo house has to do with jobs. It has to be to do with work and employment. So I don't know if this means you're thinking about switching jobs. If I go up here to the 10th house, which is the house of your career and job, we have the Queen of Swords with the Crook and Flail. So for some people, this is actually going to be a promotion. There's definitely a conveying of authority here, or it's going to be something. Again, there's this strong sense of recognition here with this card. Crook and Flail has to do with being recognized, being confident, and the fact that you have Osiris down here. I mean, there's a lot here. Queen of Swords is definitely a very logical kind of a card. So this is about being mentally sharp, about seeing things in a very logical and rational kind of a way. Perhaps being a little bit of perfectionist, also being able to see through people's nonsense, okay? So yeah, you definitely seem to be in a position where you're getting ready to move up or move on into the next phase of something here. And I don't know, but it's interesting because you've got all of this family stuff going on here as well, which I don't know if there's a connection there. Maybe you're moving up, maybe you're making more money and feel you're in a position to help somebody more. Not, a lot of possibilities there, really. Seventh house, which is Libra energy, for those of you who are either looking for a long-term relationship or in one. Okay, we have the Prince of Wands with the Pyramid. Some of you may be dealing with a love interest who is a bit restless, shall we say. Maybe somebody who likes you and has a lot of passion for you, but maybe isn't quite ready to settle down. A pyramid seems to indicate something that's going to be resolved in time, or something that's going to happen in time. So I feel like, if you've met somebody, you don't want to rush things right now. If you're already married, then it could be that there may be some challenges here. Maybe you have a partner who's restless or who's traveling a lot. There may be, there could be some, when fire comes up, it can mean the fire of passion, but it can also sometimes be where we get kind of irritable and have little mini explosions and things. That's a possibility here. But overall, yeah, there's a sense of movement and restlessness here, and it may be just that something needs to be given time. So take that as it resonates for your relationships. This can also have to do with a business relationship as well. So strong energy, and a lot of very strong energy here. Strong fire, strong earth, and strong family ties. Okay, in your house of transformation, you have the Five of Wands, which is the strife card with the Lotus. Okay, the Lotus, yeah, there's definitely, first of all, this kind of suggests peaceful continuity of things, or looking for peace of mind. Lotus comes up when we may be anxious about change or about things that are going on. And the Five of Wands seems to indicate that a lot of people have their fingers in the pie, so to speak. This is a lot of people who may be muddying the waters. There could be competition with people, or you may feel like you're fighting to be seen or to be heard, or maybe you have your goals and where you're headed, and you may just have all these conflicting interests with outside people who are trying to tell you, where to go. So really, you just kind of want to be calm and centered in all of this. This is not serious change. The Five of Wands represents sometimes argument or debate or things like that, but this is not the serious type. This is something that it's almost more like play fighting. It's something that will eventually go away. So I think it's saying that there's not a lot to worry about. But I feel like this is more of an annoyance to you than anything else. There's certain changes, and there's just certain annoying things that seem to be derailing you from this change. Now, if we look at the 9th house, which is Sagittarius energy, okay, this is interesting because this card has come up in this place for almost everybody I've read for this week. And this has to do, now for some of you, this has to do with school, going back to school. That would make sense for a lot of people. But this also has to do with timing. Sometimes it has to do with legal matters as well. But I feel like in this house, this is the house of expanding your horizons. So it's the right time to do this. Maybe this is the right time to go back to school, or maybe you're in school, maybe you're a teacher. There is this sense of authority here. But there's definitely the sense of timing of something that's happening here. And this is definitely the time where you're feeling like you're moving into a space where you're going to expand and move forward. Of course, you do have this with the Four of Swords. So you might actually even be taking a long trip or something to retreat. This is a card of retreat. Sometimes it has to do with recovery from illness. But there's a sense here of just kind of needing to get away, like needing to have some space for yourself. Because you've been in this very, very generous and supportive mode. You may be taking on more responsibility, and maybe you're feeling kind of like, okay, I'm ready for a little bit of a break. I'm ready to focus a little bit on expanding my own horizons. And of course, Thoth in this case too could indicate that your health, you may be focused on your own physical, mental, and spiritual health here. This is the house of faith. So there definitely seems to be the idea that you may want to, take a long trip, or you may want to take a class or a course for yourself, or maybe you're going to find comfort in spirituality. Any one of these things are possible with the 9th house. We have, in the 11th house, we have Bast with the Knight of Swords. Yeah, and again, you have more of this Knight energy. This is, the Knight of Swords is very much this energy of where again, we want to charge into something. We want to meet our goals, but this is kind of an energy of just kind of rushing in. And usually when this card shows up, it's telling us, wait, okay? Wait and see. Don't just rush in with something. Look before you leap. So there's going to be a lot of energy, and this is a lot of mental energy. It's interesting because you have a lot. You have the Queen of Swords here. You have the Eight of Swords here. I feel like there's something you're going to be finding out about your goals or about where you're going. So you may not want to rush into things. This also may be why you're getting the Four of Swords over here. Like, you're ready to expand your horizons, but maybe you want to wait. Maybe you want to take a little bit of a time out. Bast is saying rely more on your intuition here. This is a very friendly card. So again, like we have the 10 of Cups here, this does seem like there's a lot of social things going on, that you are seen, that you are visible, happiness that's being spent with friends and people who support you. A lot of energy around support here. But there may be a temptation to rush into something too fast. So I think it's telling you, you want to slow down. There's a couple things of slowing down a little bit here. And as I mentioned, overall, yeah, there's something you don't know yet. There's something that's waiting that's going to be happening, and probably is going to be revealed in this eclipse cycle, which is, there's the one on the 17th, and then there's the solar eclipse in Libra, which is happening on the 2nd of October. So this eclipse cycle, I think you're going to be dropping some burdens. I think if you feel like you've had to take on the burdens of a lot of people, this could also just be about relinquishing control. This may be a period of time when you need to let go of control of a situation. There's some versions of the 10 of Wands where the person is kind of ferociously and almost fiercely trying to hang on to the 10 Wands. And it's like, well, no, you don't want to do that. You should not try to carry all of this burden. You shouldn't try to carry it by yourself. Maybe that's the way you're trying to convey yourself, like, I'm independent, I can do this. But there's some element here of, there's a whole lot here around control, around other people being involved, and around you trying to take your space. You're ready to move ahead, move up, come into your own. But there's something here with the Tower in your own house, this is the Pisces house, the 12th house. This means that there's something is falling apart. Something is going to be torn apart, and that's because a structure is being torn down so something new can be put in its place. So this is and this is in your house of self-undoing. So, you know, be aware that right now you've got a lot of strength here, but there may be a little bit of a house of cards with some things. You want to make sure that you are in a, you may be ready to move on, but I think there needs to be some time to consider. Also time to separate what you want from what other people want. When I see the Five of Wands over here, I feel like, you know, you may be, I feel like you may be taking on too much of other people's stuff, maybe family stuff, maybe a lot of things that you feel like you need to control, but this is not, you know, you need to, I mean, definitely, again, there's a very strong, very positive social sense here for both family and friends, and you moving up in your career, you making changes, you know, things getting ready to happen with money that maybe haven't happened yet. I mean, you're coming across here is very, very strong, but there's also an overexpending of mental energy and maybe a feeling of responsibility, feeling that you have to do more than you really have to do. Yeah, your card is the Mercury retrograde card. Now, Mercury retrograde just ended at the end of August. The post-shadow period is actually going to be over by the time this reading starts, pretty much. But nonetheless, this is a card of reinvention and correction. It's about revisiting something and having kind of a do-over is the way that Mercury retrograde energy works. There may be interrupted communications. There may be things not going quite as you had expected. There may be delays in things. But these may be happening for a reason. You may be being asked to revisit something and really to have a breakthrough, to tear down things that, or to have that lightning bolt of illumination that the Tower brings, that lets you see what's no longer valid, or maybe is something that you believed or thought, or a path you thought you were on. This may be telling you no, get rid of that, or a structure you're starting to build, metaphorically speaking. It's time to knock it down and start over again the corrected way, the right way. So there's a lot about correction here, Pisces, and I feel like the eclipses are going to bring that kind of correction. They're going to allow you to drop burdens, and yeah, but do be aware that this is going to be unfolding. Probably a lot of this hasn't unfolded yet. Just be aware that you are in a strong place right now, but you don't have to do everything, and you don't need to give everybody the impression that you have to do everything. So I hope this reading was helpful, Pisces. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified about future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.